Have you ever encountered something in the water that wasn't supposed to be there? Imagine this. You're sailing on the open sea, the waves crashing against your boat as the moonlight shimmers over the water. Suddenly, a haunting melody drifts through the air. It's hypnotic, alluring, almost otherworldly. You lean forward, drawn to the sound, your mind clouded with an eerie sense of longing. Then, from the depths, a figure emerges, her eyes black as the abyss, her sharp teeth gleaming under the pale light. A voice, not spoken, but echoing inside your head, whispers, "Come closer." For centuries, stories of these mysterious beings have been dismissed as folklore, legends spun by sailors who lost themselves at sea. But what if I told you that mermaids are not just myths, that their origins trace back to one of the most important missing books of the Bible? Beneath the waves where the sun dares not shine and the depths stretch into endless black, something stirs. They were once women, flesh and bone, warmth and breath, until fate wove them into a curse that would last beyond the flood. There is one book that speaks of their transformation, not into death, but into something far worse: sirens. The waters claimed them, reshaped them. No longer human, yet not entirely beast, they became creatures of the deep, mermaids, yet not as the world now imagines them. Their beauty became a weapon, their voices an enchantment, a lure stronger than any chain, and so they sang. Not a song of joy nor of sorrow, but of hunger, an echo of the love that doomed them, now turned to vengeance. Sailors at sea would hear it, sweet and haunting, carried on the wind. It called them closer, whispered to them, pulled them toward the waves until, at last, they disappeared beneath the water, claimed by the very beings they mistook for legend. The world forgot the truth. Folklore softened their story, turning them into tragic beauties longing for love. But the ancient texts remember. The testimonies of those who have seen them remember, and the sea, dark and endless, remembers too. Stay with me, because this is where history, faith, and the supernatural collide. Thanks for being here. If you find this content helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to support our channel. Let's begin. In 1947, in a remote desert cave in Qumran, a discovery shook the world of biblical scholarship: the Dead Sea Scrolls. These ancient texts contained many of the books we now recognize in the Bible, including Genesis and Isaiah. But among them lay a book that had been hidden from the world for centuries: the Book of Enoch. Unlike the books found in today's Bible, Enoch's writings go beyond the familiar narratives. They delve into cosmic mysteries, forbidden knowledge, and strange beings that the biblical texts only hint at. One of these revelations, the origin of mermaids. It began with a whisper in the wind, soft, alluring, yet heavy with the weight of an ancient secret. The daughters of men, beautiful and untainted, lived their lives beneath the open sky, unaware that unseen eyes watched them from above. Then they came. From the heavens, the watchers descended. Celestial beings clothed in light, their voices like the music of the stars. They walked among mankind, no longer as silent guardians, but as men consumed by longing. They took wives from the daughters of the earth, binding them in unions not meant to be. At first, it was paradise. The women bore sons tall as cedar trees, strong as 10 men, with eyes that burned like embers in the dark. The Nephilim, they were called, giants with an insatiable hunger, warriors who shook the ground when they walked. But what began as love soon became a nightmare. The Nephilim devoured the land, their appetites endless. They drank the blood of beasts and turned on mankind, their own mothers watching in horror as their sons became monsters. The heavens stirred in fury, and the decree was given. Judgment would come. The watchers who had traded eternity for forbidden love were torn from the earth. Shackled in chains of fire, they were cast into the abyss, into Tartarus, where light would never touch them again. Their sons, the Nephilim, were hunted by the floodwaters that swallowed the world, their cries lost beneath the roaring depths. But what of the women, the brides of the fallen? They did not die. Instead, they were cursed. The skies wept over them, and from the deep a different fate called their names. The sea, dark and endless, reached for them, pulling them into its embrace. Their bodies twisted, their lungs burned, and their voices, once filled with love and laughter, became something else. A song, a call, a warning. The women of the Watchers did not perish. They became something else. Sirens. And even now, when the wind is still and the waters whisper, their song lingers, waiting, calling, luring men to the depths, just as they were once lured into a love that doomed the world. According to Enoch 19, verse 2, the women also of the angels who went astray shall become sirens. The word sirens has two meanings. In Greek mythology, sirens are half-bird, half-human creatures that lure sailors to their doom. But in another interpretation, sirens are mermaids, water-dwelling entities with hypnotic voices and supernatural powers. Over time, mermaids in folklore retained their allure but lost their sinister truth. Stories turned them into beautiful, misunderstood beings. But ancient texts and countless first-hand encounters tell a very different story. There is another eerie clue hidden in Scripture. The Book of Revelation 21, verse 1 says, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea." The Book of Revelation holds many mysteries, but this one verse stands out as particularly unsettling. It speaks of a future where the earth is made new, cleansed of its former corruption, but with one striking difference. There will be no sea. This detail may seem small, but it raises a chilling question. Why would God erase the oceans? What lurks beneath their surface that must be wiped away completely? For centuries, the sea has been a place of untold horrors, a realm of shadowy depths where light cannot reach. Countless sailors have whispered of strange creatures watching from beneath the waves, of voices calling them toward the abyss. Ancient texts speak of demonic marine spirits, entities with unnatural beauty and terrifying power. If the oceans are their domain, then the absence of the sea in the New World is not a coincidence. It is a divine purge. Perhaps these beings have dwelled there since the days of Noah, hidden beneath the tides, untouched by the flood that cleansed the earth. Not destroyed, only submerged. If mermaids, or sirens, are indeed the cursed remnants of those who defied heaven, then the sea has been their prison for millennia. But even now the echoes of their presence remain, and one day, when the world is made new, even the deep will not be safe for them. Throughout history, whispers of these creatures have surfaced in myths, records, and even ancient art. The idea that mermaids are not mere legend, but something far darker, a cursed lineage, is not exclusive to the Bible. Even the ancient Egyptians, a people known for their meticulous record-keeping and symbolic art, depicted a war between humans and water-dwelling entities. These weren't the gentle mermaids of modern fairy tales. They were terrifying, supernatural beings, creatures whose very existence challenged the boundaries of the natural world. Were they remnants of the Nephilim, spirits of the cursed, or something even more sinister? Something has always lurked beneath the waves, something neither human nor beast, yet undeniably real. From Egyptian murals to modern testimonies, stories of mermaids have endured for thousands of years. Their descriptions remain eerily consistent: black eyes, razor-sharp teeth, webbed fingers, and a terrifying ability to manipulate the human mind. If so many cultures, across so many centuries, have documented their existence, can we still call them mere legends? Or have we been conditioned to forget something far more sinister? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever encountered something in the water that wasn't supposed to be there? I'd love to hear your stories.